big, bad, disgusting, filthy. I'm going to show you how to make your bass lines all of those things in the upcoming video. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Boombox, the home of collaboration with me, your host, Fabio from Noize. You could have the chance to win $500 worth of studio equipment. So, link is in the description below, follow the details, and then comment on the video with what your favorite synth is for bass lines. Before we get started, don't forget that this project file down here is also available in the link in the description below if you want to get your hands on it after the video. We're going to start with rhythm, but first I'm going to play the drum loop to which we'll be adding the bass line. Now for the bassline, I am using Serum, and this is just a patch that I created. Again, you'll have access to this when you download the project files and be able to save it to your own system. By focusing on the rhythm first, it simplifies the process and we're able to get the groove that we want. So let's go ahead and try that out. So I think it could do maybe with one more here. Next, let's add some variation. So let's duplicate this, and then at the end of the second bar, we'll add a few more notes. That sounds okay, but the notes are too long, so we're not getting the definition in between each trigger. So super easy there. We've already created a great rhythm and a great variation. Let's now focus on the note length. So by having some notes shorter and longer, it breaks it up and adds even more variation. Longer notes will also have a more sustained sub sound. The contrast between the longer and the shorter notes makes for a much cooler sounding bass line already. Now that we've done our rhythm, our variation, and our note length, let's try and add some melodies. So we're going to try moving the notes up and down, not too far from each other, but just to see if we can change some of the notes to make it slightly more interesting. Remember, it's a bass line, so it doesn't have to be complicated. Now that we're changing the notes, let's look at adding some octave jumps. So every so often, we can take one of the notes and pitch it up an octave. And in Ableton, this is really easy to do. Select the note and then hold Shift and then press up on your arrow pad. This might be a great moment in which to duplicate the loop again and add more variation by using these octave jumps. So let's add one here and here. Maybe let's bring that one down, this one up. I told you to make it funky, groovy, filthy, and disgusting all at the same time. I just want to take a quick moment halfway through this video to remind you that these tutorials are possible because of Boombox. If you're a producer, musician, or engineer, and you're looking to store your files, share them with collaborators, and synergize your creativity, then this is the website for you. Sign up for free and you get 10 gigabytes of free storage. And if you want to know personally, the way I use it is I do all my mixes for my clients, I put them on Boombox, and then I wait for them to leave that amazing time-stamped feedback, which allows me to quickly make those revisions and recalls. Less time lost in translation between emails, notes, WhatsApp, and iMessage means more time focusing on what's important. Let's get back to the video. Velocity filters are one of my favorite things to use. Here's how to set it up in Serum, but if you don't use Serum, read the manual on the synthesizer that you're using. What a velocity filter allows us to do is change the velocity of the note, and that means if the velocity is higher, the filter will be more open, giving it more high frequencies, and if the velocity is lower, it will be duller and darker in tone. So to set it up in Serum, all we have to do is click and hold velocity and then drag that onto the cutoff, and we can see that it's given us all this range to create different velocity filter changes. Okay, now here, what I'm going to do is select all the notes. I'm going to bring all the notes all the way down actually, and then I'm going to bring some of them up. So listen to what it sounds like right now. You get the idea. Now let's try opening some of these up, maybe closing some of the others. So essentially you'll see this filter here is going to be opening and closing like this, depending on what the velocity of that individual note is. Let's go really extreme with some of them. Why not? Just add a little variation. Another great way to really flex on your bass line is by using pitch bends. Now what you'll want to do is you will want to open your synthesizer and figure out where the pitch bend range is first. Usually it's near the keys to the left-hand side, and here we can see that the pitch bend is only 2 semitones up and 2 semitones down. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to change this to 12 semitones down, 12 semitones up, 12 semitones being a full octave. Now to do pitch modulation on your MIDI in Ableton, you want to go to envelopes, open that up, MIDI control, and then pitch bend here. Now I'm going completely overboard with this, but it is just for the sake of this video to show you how much fun you can have with these really simple tools. Last but not least, coming back to our original bassline pattern, we're going to add some effects here directly to the channel. So I'm going to use an audio effect rack, and I'm going to set up 2 chains, one for the dry signal and then one for the reverb. Now on the reverb, I'm going to apply a filter so that none of those low frequencies are going to be triggering the reverb. In fact, all the frequencies that had the velocity filter on them, so when we increase the velocity and increase the high frequencies, those are the ones that are going to trigger the reverb. I mean, how cool does that sound? And you don't just have to do it with reverb, you could do it with delay as well. So let's set up another chain. We'll call this one echo. Let's drag the echo in. I'm going to copy and paste the filter that I created. And then I'm actually going to unsynchronize this delay. I like a really short, weird, wacky unsynchronized. We want the wet to be all the way up. And we've turned the reverb off. Let's see how this sounds. Maybe a bit of both. So there you have a handful of awesome tricks that I hope will take your bass lines to the next pro level. All those small little changes are what's going to make it so much more exciting. But before I go, don't forget that there is $500 worth of studio gear that you could win. So go to the link in the description below, and this project file is all yours. So you can use it as a template, you can make a song from it if you like. That's also in the link in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It's been an honor as always. This is Fabio from Noize, hosting here at Boombox, the home of collaboration. We'll see you very soon.